Hey YouTube, Everyday Man, got another video for you. Today we are talking about this guy. This is a trailer, as you can see. This is a utility trailer, and its previous life, it was a late 50s, early 60s scamper, pop-up camper. Back around mid-2000s probably. My dad bought this trailer off of eBay for, I think it was $50, if I remember correctly. Something around that. And between the two of us, we stripped it all down, got it to the down to the bare stud frame, basically. And then built a trailer up from it. And the original trailer was a steel roofing floor with the ribs, you know, just like the normal rib type flooring. It was green. That was on the floors. And then the walls were made of metal stud and track wrapped with some trim coil. So that's pretty much the overview of how it started out. Since then, we used it for a long time like that, and then recently, about a year or two ago, they were doing some work by the power lines that we have here, and a skid steer bobcat type thing rolled over the corner, the left front corner if I remember correctly, rolled over it, and then bent the top. It didn't really bend the frame, so we stripped it back down, and we're going to start over. And we learned some things from the first time around, and we're going to make it better. And this is the start of that. So I'm going to kind of do like weekly updates instead of a step-by-step type video. I just feel that would take away from the project. We'd make too many mistakes, I feel. I was talking to my dad about it. Like I said, this is his trailer. I'm helping him rebuild it. And so anyway, yeah. When we stripped it down, the first thing we did was we had it powder coated. We had it sandblasted and powder coated. The frame itself, powder coated dark black. The local place around here does it. Powder coating is a really great way to prevent rust. Instead of just painting it, which actually we did originally, we did get some specialty paint and painted it by hand. But the powder coating is going to last a lot longer anyway. But no matter. Like I said, we're doing some improvements on it this time around. The biggest thing we like about this trailer is that it's light. Especially before, it was super light. You could literally pick up the tongue and walk around with it, no problem, when it was empty. And it's still going to be fairly light. It's going to be a little more beefy. Like I said, we had some issues with it. The roofing floor was not a very good plan. Every time you wanted to move something from like this side to this side, you'd have to lift over each bump. That was annoying. We went to the diamond coat, the diamond plate aluminum, just because it's really sturdy, it's strong, it's still got good grip. And the other thing we did to attach the deck, we used just the self-tapping drilling screws for metal. We use those in the deck. Every once in a while you catch one and it'd rip it out after a while. So we're now going with roots and everything, and we're also using Flex as between the two layers to help seal it up, prevent rust and corrosion between the two. The frame is steel, that's aluminum, so you can't get corrosion and things like that between those two metals. So doing that. Anyway, this is the trailer. Literally a scale picture I did a while back. We were ordering the decking and stuff like that, and my dad needed to know what it was, so I drew up a nice little drawing. So as you can see, overall it is from tongue to bumper is 156 inches. Actual deck from deck to front to back, not including the bumper, is 105 5/8 inches. So it's not a real long trailer. It is side to side 76 1/4, as you can see here. So like I said, it's not a huge trailer, but it really is a nice size for most things that we do. So basically, like I said, this front does not have it anymore. We took that piece off, but besides that, that's the trailer that we got. So there are supporting pieces here, here, and here. Looks like 1.25 inches, 2 1/4, and 5 5/8. And the whole frame around the outside, the back side is 1.5 inches. Sides are 1 inch thick, and the front is 1.5 inches thick. So that's pretty much that. Not a whole lot to say about that. But if you really are interested in this type of stuff, that's what I got. So anyway, that's the trailer. This is where I'm at. Like I said, I'm going to be doing weekly updates, talking with my dad about which when we were working on this last weekend, he was talking to his coworkers about this, and they said, well, gee, you should do a YouTube video, because I think they thought people would like to see what we're doing here. And so he mentioned that to me, and I said I was thinking about doing that anyway. So this is what we got. Like I said, as we were talking, we both kind of agreed that filming as we're actually doing the work would cause both of us to the work quality to go down a little bit, we thought, and it would take longer. And we do need this fairly quickly. My sister's moving down to North Carolina from Pennsylvania, so kind of need this done quicker than we were hoping. But we're still going to get the quality work we think that we can. So anyway, let's go. The other thing I want to show is the jack. We did get a new jack, so let's go up here. Trailer jack. This is a really cool trailer jack. We do really like this. What we started with was, this is what was originally on the trailer, a simple A-frame type jack. No foot, no anything. This works alright. It was fine for what it was at the time, but it took forever to go up, and if you'd forget, you'd catch the bottom, and thus the bottom was not square. So, putting this back, this is what we replaced it with. This jack is called the Ultimate Trailer Jack, and we got this at Tractor Supply. They sell these, I think it was around $30, $40, somewhere in that range, if I remember correctly. I think it was around 40. As you can see, weight limitations, 2,000 maximum, lifting capacity 3,000 static load. So it's a pretty hefty trailer. We're looking at some from Harbor Freight, and they weren't rated that high. So that was one reason we got this one. It doesn't come with the wheel. We bought the wheel separate, but it's good to have a wheel, we learned. But what this does do is, you have the swing type, which we were looking at, but this takes the swing type of getting it out of the way quickly, and the A-frame strength and capacity for weight, and combines the two, and you get this. So what you do is you pull this pin over here like that, and this whole thing goes up and goes down, which is really cool. Then you just flip this back this way, and it'll snap into a hole like that, and you stick this little pin in here like that, and then it can't go anywhere, and then you turn the handle just like you do any other jack. So that's really cool. We really like that. The other thing that gains you is if you really need to jack this thing up really high, you can drop this all the way down to this hole and still drop the jack all the way down the length. So that gives you a lot of height. Offhand, we measured it. I can't remember what it was, but it makes it so that the back end is almost completely on the ground. It's about that far off the ground without making the trailer too steep. It is really a nice jack. I really like that. I'm pretty excited for that. So that's the first thing I wanted to show. The jack, really good jack. Highly recommend. Hopefully we'll update on it if it changes, my opinion on it at least. As you can see, we're using diamond plate. This is the frame underneath that I was showing the picture of. That just gives you an idea of what it actually looks like. I'm not going to take up all the panels, but this is not attached yet. Still need to do wiring for lights, and we're going to do that in the frame, so that's why it's not attached yet, but it is drilled for rivets. And we're going to be using 1/8 inch rivets with what big heads usually. No, not big heads on the floor. That's a lie. On the floor, we're going to use the smaller heads so they don't catch as easily. But those work great. Like I said, we're going to put the wiring in the channels of the frame. Like I said, they're C channels. So we're going to do that. The deck is extending onto the bumper. This is the bumper. This is the frame. It is going to extend onto here and be attached. It just helps with rigidity mainly, and then when you're loading and offloading, it also helps. These are the lights. We have brake, turn, driving, and reverse as well. Those are actually submersibles. Really liked the fact that they're LEDs. That was the first thing we really wanted. And it is nice to have the reverse lights. That is a nice feature we like. And they were super cheap. We paid $10 for the pair, I think. Really good deal on those from Amazon. So we're going to do those. Then we need some other lights. I'll go back and show you those in a minute. The other cool thing I want to show are Clecos. People who use rivets a lot probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but some probably don't. I had never heard of them before we got them. So this is a Cleco plier tool, basically, and this is a Cleco in here. So what you do is you hook it under this little lip, you hook it, and then you put the top on, you squeeze, and you pull them out. And that's Cleco. We got these for a really good deal off of Aircraft Spruce, along with some quite a bit of rivets to go with. But these are really, really handy for doing this type of stuff. You just drill the hole and you stick a Cleco in, and it doesn't go anywhere. That's really cool. Love these things. These are cool. So if you're doing a project where you're doing a lot of riveting, definitely need these. So like I said, it really does hold it in place nicely. So we did that. Drilling the holes, we took a chalk line and snapped chalk lines on everywhere and anywhere where it crossed. We wanted a hole. So we're doing that. We may add some more holes depending. Once we get it attached, we can always add holes after if we feel it needs some more strength. So we have done that. I want to talk about these wheel boxes in a minute, but I'm going to have to take this panel up, so we're going to have to do that. Let's go back. I want to show, well, the first thing I want to show is these wiring harnesses that we got. These are trailer harnesses, actually made for trailers. Got these off of a company called AS&S. Super cheap. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wires. So we can run brakes, brake lights. You can run backup lights, turn signals, as well as running lights. All that stuff on there with these wires. So we got 3 of those to do that project. That's going to be really nice to have instead of running other 4-type trailer wire, which won't give you backup lights, or just running regular wire. That won't work really well either. But I do want to come back here and show, no, that's a lie. Up here, sorry guys. Up here in this box, we have, I thought we did. Here they are. These are going to be our courtesy lights, also LEDs, super skinny. It's not going to stick out real far. This is going to be for side markers. You do need side markers in North Carolina to be legal. Most places you do. So there's also side markers, yellow and red markers here as well. There's also somewhere in here, I thought we had we have the license plate lights somewhere. They're really cool. I'm just going to explain them because I can't seem to find them right now. But they are really cool. They are bolts, basically. They're just the bolts that you normally would use, and they have little LEDs on the ends, wires going through the bolt. So you bolt on, and your trailer lights, your license plate light is actually in the bolt that holds it on. So you don't actually need any other type of connector. So that's really cool. Like I said, I'm gonna go find them because they are really cool. I do want to show that. Okay, so I did find them. They are right here. These are our license plate lights. As you can see, like I said, there are like bolts. Bring a light over here. They're like bolts basically. That's how you're going to attach them. They have wires coming up through here, the middle of the bolts. There we go. The middle of the bolt, and then some LEDs here. So the biggest thing I think we're going to have to make sure we do is get the LEDs. You got to make sure you get the LEDs pointing down on the light, down on the license plate, opposed to pointing like up. That would be stupid. So that's those. Like I said, I think they're really cool. Kind of geeked out about them, and they were really very inexpensive for what they are. So anyway, there's those lights there. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up that deck, and we can show you the wheel boxes. We just finished those this weekend. I'm really happy about the way they turned out. I think they're going to be real strong and well to do. So we're going to do that real quick. Alright, so we got all the Clecos out, got it flipped over, and now we can show you the wheel boxes. These are the wheel boxes. This is where, obviously, the wheel goes into the frame. So the wheel does stick up a little bit, so you have to account for that. Plus, when you weigh it down, they come up higher. So basically, this also gives you an idea of what we got for a chassis, if you will. So it's just a normal axle with hubs, bearings, all that stuff. Small wheels plus leaf springs. So that's that. As you can see, this is the frame underneath that as well. But anyway, like I said, the whole point of this was to show you these wheel boxes. So we took a straight piece, one piece of this diamond plate, and that's the top. We measured it for the top and bent it with our bending brake, small bending brake, 30-inch bending brake from Harbor Freight. Nothing fancy. So we did that, and then we cut the sides out. We have found, I'll give you this hint as well, the easiest way to cut this diamond plate is, especially in long cuts like these we didn't have to cut though. These we bought pre-cut to the size we needed, but for like these, in the front here we had to cut down. The easiest way to cut it is to get a carbide tip blade, type wood blade for a circular saw. Run it forwards, not backwards. Forwards does work much better than backwards. We tried it both ways. Run it forwards, normal, in the circular saw. Make sure you wear your ear protection because it is really loud. Probably eye protection too, because while it doesn't spark, you do get hot shards flying everywhere. So that is that. Anyway, like so we bent this. We bent a flange here. Bent down here the other way to get our flat, and the same opposite on this end like that. So we got all those nice and bent, nice and even on both sides, this side and that side. Then, like I said, we cut these two panels here and here, and we got some aluminum angle. I believe this 3/4, I think, looks like. Got a tape measure right here. Might be, I think it's an inch actually. Nope, 3/4 ounce. Nope, half. Yep, half. You can see that. There's the 2-inch, no, inch. Gosh, this is really screwing me up doing this one-handed, I gotta tell you. There we go. As you can see, 1-inch angle. So we got the angle, 1-inch angle, cut it for each of our sides. We got a piece here, 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 and then the same on the other side. So we got those all cut. Did end up using our bandsaw to cut to length, and then for these edges where you have to miter them, if you will, we just simply used tin snips, as I call them. I don't know what else you call them. I would show them to you, but they're already back in the back, so we won't do that right now. But you just trim them to size so they fit nicely like this, and then drilled holes, put clecos in to make sure it all fit in correctly, and then we put the Sikaflex down, which I'll show you what's over there. I'll show you that in a minute, of the Sikaflex that we're using for this, and then we put the rivets in, and we actually used a hand riveter to do this. Everything else we're going to use a air pneumatic type riveter to rivet all the rest of it together, but for that we only had the normal type hand pop rivet. So that's those. We originally they were these boxes, as you can see right there, that green box right there, they were square. We wanted an angle, so if we needed to, we could drive something, wheels over these to get to the back or something like that. They are really sturdy with these extra angle, and once it was all tied together to the bottom, really actually very sturdy. We were surprised at how sturdy they really are. So this is the other side, as you can see, same deal. Really happy with the way these turned out. They actually both turned out very close to being the same. So that is that. Like I said, we'll show you this. This is the hand pop riveter. This is just the cheap one from Harbor Freight. We did get a pneumatic that we're going to be using from now. But this is the Sika that we're talking about. It is Pro Select Construction Sealant. This happens to be in gray. Not that the color matters. This is really good stuff. Like I said, it's just sealing. It's helping tie everything together, but it's also sealing out any water, and also to help with corrosion between materials, as I was talking about. So it comes in these tubes. These are, if I remember correctly, $7-ish per tube. To make that, we used about half this tube to just make the boxes. And then, like I said, basically every joint we're going to Sika it, because it's just going to help make it stronger. So that's the two things else that I got. That's pretty much where we're at in this project. Like I said, doing weekly updates, I think, as best we can. We just got the trim coil the other day, so I haven't even opened it yet, but that's going to be the sides. They're going to be a little taller. Last time I think they were 12s, but I think we're going to go with, this is 24. But what we're going to do is we're going to bend it over the edges and around to help, again, seal it as well as make it stronger. So like I said, that's basically what we're at. Going to do another update next week, probably. This is basically a weekend project for us. We're doing it during the weekend, Saturday, Sunday type deal. So it's going to get done probably in the next couple weeks. Actually, it's moving a lot faster than we thought it would, honestly. So, like I said, in the channels, we're gonna wire it up this weekend. Get all the lights wired in, because we got the wire in. So we're gonna wire all that up, and then we're ready to stick down the deck with the Sika and the rivets. And that's gonna be a really good step for us, because then we do have a trailer where you could actually put stuff on. It's a flatbed, but it would work. And then, like I said, we got to order all of the studding and track, metal studs and track, and then we're ready to do sides. So that's when it's really going to start coming together, is when we get the sides in. And then we still haven't quite decided on the tailgate. Need some kind of tailgate. The last time we just had a sliding tailgate that we slid in the back. But we want to upgrade that with hinged of some sort. We're talking about like swinging barn doors that, you know, swing around to the other side, like most trailers, or a bifold that folds in the middle, folds one half, and then the other half goes around to the sides and attaches. That's kind of what we're talking about. So we're going to do that. So anyway, I think that, like I said, I think that's pretty much it for this week. That's kind of where we're at. That's what the project is. So like I said, we're going to do weekly updates, I think, and show you when it's as we go and when it gets done. So if you like these videos, go ahead and like it. Comment if you have any suggestions or thoughts on ways we can improve, or like I said, better ways to do tailgates if you can come up with anything. We've gone through quite a few different options that we've thought through. But anyway, I think that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, y'all be safe out there. Have a good day.